Hey there, it's Ken with NetFoundry. I'm going to talk a little bit about a new piece of tooling for automating your network management. And so let's take a look at this network that I've got already created. And I will draw your attention to the Edge Router Attributes column on this particular router, because I'm going to add an attribute to this using the automation just as a quick concrete example. Now, there's already a way to export a network, so you can go into the list of networks, go to the far right, see where my cursor is bubbling over there. You can go to the context menu and download. And that gets you a file like this. So you can identify your network group ID, size, all that stuff is exported, and you can compose this from scratch if you wish to just create a network, but I wanted to illustrate that you could download it after handcrafting it in the web console and then add it into some automation to manage it from that point forward. So let's go ahead and add a role attribute to that router. See, it's in the list of routers right there. And then run it. So now that we've uncommented that attribute to make it part of the network definition, we can actually run it right there. So we have a file in this directory called docker compose.yaml. All right, there we go. So let me explain what we're saying here. We're going to run docker compose up. We're going to build the container image from that compose file. And we're going to override the value of these two variables. So while that is running, let's take a look at the compose file itself. Here's our compose file. We've got a couple of usage examples, and we're currently running this first one, which uses the network from download service in the compose file. This other one, named run playbook, would be useful if you had a playbook, say downloads in your home directory, downloads playbook. If you wanted to just run any custom playbook, you could do it by running this form with the same compose file. So the value of this variable is your API account. If you happen to have saved it in this particular path here, then you wouldn't even need to specify a value for this variable, because that would be the default value. And then you've got the downloaded network YAML, which is the one that I was showing you here, downloaded or exported from the console. And if you were to save that one in this path, then you wouldn't need to override that value either, and your command would be even shorter. But all it's going to do in the end is run Ansible playbook and run the network from download playbook that is bundled with the NetFoundry platform collection. So it looks like that's chugging right along. Let's take a look at our router again in the console. See if that update went through. That's looking good. All right, so there's just a quick example of how you can update a network after downloading the as code export, and you can feed it right back in. So we could put this into like a configuration management loop where it runs at interval, or perhaps as part of a CI pipeline whenever you were to push a change. This could be GitOps for NetFoundry network management. Let me know if you have any questions.